I come from a beautiful city called Hargeisa in Somaliland, and I used to work for a World Bank project in Hargeisa and got a scholarship to study in the UK. And I came here to initially do my postgraduate studies on a master's and a PhD. I would say my experience as a migrant sending money back home, the inconvenience of the cost is associated with sending money back home. I used to live in Kent, and it used to take me an hour and a half to travel to my nearest location to send money back home, and it used to cost me a lot of money. And also it was my experience while I was at the UN as a compliance professional that I saw the challenges companies were facing to comply with anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism regulations. And so it was those two experiences that led me to set up this business. We look for people who are really very passionate about the product. We are the money transfer business. We look for people who show great interest for the work we were doing here. The work we're doing for our customers, the difference we believe we are making for a large number of migrants who had a lot of challenges in sending money back home. I think my biggest mistake was not starting business much earlier. I think I probably stayed in academia for rather too long. That I think probably was my biggest mistake. Definitely explore the world, travel as much as possible, learn from what people have done elsewhere. Probably 30 years ago it was difficult for someone to go abroad and experience what really inspires people elsewhere. But today it's a lot easier to do that nowadays. So I would have traveled much more extensively, or a younger me would have traveled much more extensively. No, there is no specific formula you follow in entrepreneurship. Otherwise, probably more people would have succeeded. But I think you need to be very passionate about what you want to do. You need to be persistent so that you don't give up the first time you see some big challenges. So certainly you need to have particular kind of a traits that are likely to help you to succeed in entrepreneurship, but there's no specific sort of formula. I like Apple, and I particularly like the consumer-centric approach they take, and where you can see everything they do is for their consumers. And I don't think many companies have succeeded or done as much as Apple has done in terms of being truly customer-centric. I would say be very ambitious. If you happen to be in a particular, if you're setting up in your own country, don't just look at the market in your own hometown or in your own country alone, but look at a much bigger global or pan-African market. And I think in Africa particularly, some of the biggest opportunities are how do you do cross-border trade and services, sort of, aim to address and learn from other African countries.